This is TraxxFM, Trax Momentum. Otto here, coming to you live in Angkasa Puri, Kuala Lumpur. It's 14 minutes past 11. Good morning, Malaysia. Well, today we're going to talk about a little something called inspiring sustainable living. Now, if you're wondering what we're going to talk about, well, it's about EcoKnights. And EcoKnights is inspiring sustainable living. That's what I said. So if it's a non-profit or environmental organization registered with the Malaysian Register of Societies. Now, the organization was founded by Yasmin Rashid and also Mariam Osman in 2005, and it has been snowballing all the way up till this year and helping in promoting sustainable living. Now, I have with me two very strapping young lads, and their names are Amlir Ayat, the Vice President of EcoKnights, and Fadli Bakhtiar, the Program Director of EcoKnights. Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you for being here in the studio. I know you are very busy, and looking at your website, EcoKnights.org.my, you have lots of activities and programs. Definitely, right?
We're trying.
Yes, you're trying, okay. Well, I'm particularly interested in knowing this program which you have. It's called MHB Knights of Nature program. So can you share with us a little bit about that?
Yeah, okay. So first of all, thank you very much, Otto, for having us. My name is Fadli Bakhtiar. I'm the Program Director of EcoKnights. Today we're going to talk about Knights of Nature Sustainability Camp, specifically in Johor, which we are partnering with a marine... with a company, with a public listed company called Malaysian Marine Heavy Engineering Holdings Berhad. A leading offshore and marine service provider in Malaysia, focused primarily on oil and gas. So, but we are doing the Knights of Nature with them is part of their CSR program to address environmental issues and to promote environmental awareness to youth in Johor. So,
and there are two, right? There are two different camps.
Yeah, there's two different camps. One in KL in Selangor, which we just did about 2 weeks ago, and then this camp in Johor will be organized next week.
Okay.
So the objective is, of course, to heighten students' level of environmental awareness, enhance understanding of sustainable lifestyle in a fun and creative ambience, and develop positive qualities such as teamwork, leadership, time management, and problem-solving skills.
Wow.
So we work with MHB because we want to encourage the local students or youth in Johor to play a more active role in taking care of the environment. So it started last year. Last year was our first partnership with them, and then this year we're doing it again. And maybe after this, Amli can just explain a little bit more on, the objective and how it was done.
Yeah. Amlir Ayat, the Vice President of EcoKnights, now telling me it must be a daunting task being part of this huge organization and telling people how to be having a sustainable living. So tell us a bit more about your organization and what do you do per se.
Okay, EcoKnights is an organization, and you can call an environmental organization. That's how people see it. But we prefer ourselves to be an organization which promotes sustainability or sustainable development. And in order for us to achieve sustainable lifestyles or sustainable livelihoods, we ought to have enough information and awareness and also capacity to carry out that kind of lifestyle. And this is where our focus is, i.e. education. Without education, without the transfer of information and also knowledge and skills about how to conduct a sustainable lifestyle, we wouldn't be able to achieve sustainability. For us, sustainability is about doing the right thing based on the information that we have, and that can be achieved through education. Without enough information, we wouldn't be able to carry out a sustainable lifestyle. A lot of people think that sustainability is about environment, but actually it's not really about saving the environment. It's about knowing what this environment is all about, and how do we connect to the environment, and then making the right decision based on the information that we have. And this is where the Knights of Nature comes in. This is where we try our best with all our efforts to help the students and the youth of Johor, in this case, youth in Johor, to understand about the environment, to gain knowledge about the environment, and also the people, and how do we connect, how do we depend on the environment. And based on that information, we hope that they'll be able to know what is the next step to do in order for us to improve our lifestyle so that it will be sustainable. So in this activity or in this program, we are not really trying to tell people what to do. What we are trying to do is to facilitate the process of delivering the information. Tell them about what is happening to our nature resources, who are depending on it, and what kind of societies around that which are depending on the nature resources, including the indigenous people they are going to work with in this program. So based on this information, we hope that our youth will not only know what to do, but know the process, the right decision-making process. That is the most important thing. EcoKnights is not telling people what to do. We are helping people to make the right decisions based on the right information, and also have the skills and capacity to make the right decision. This is our hope, our vision.
Well, thank you. And I'd like to quote what you said just now. We are depending on nature. We sustain our living based on nature. Nature can survive on their own, but it's us that depends on nature. So correct what you said, and we'll delve more further towards what is sustainable living in just a few bits, and more information on what are the latest statistics probably. In the meantime, we're talking to Amlir Ayat, the Vice President of EcoKnights, and Fadli Bakhtiar, the Program Director of EcoKnights, and talking about sustainable. Lovely song there, Westlife, with a song called Safe, right here on TraxxFM. Otto here, coming to you live in Angkasa Puri, Kuala Lumpur, and keeping company up till 2 p.m. on Trax Momentum. And we're talking about inspiring sustainable living. And in the studios, I have Amlir Ayat, the Vice President of EcoKnights, and Fadli Bakhtiar, the Program Director of EcoKnights. And if you want to know more about EcoKnights, you can just log on to their website at EcoKnights, that's EcoKnights.org.my, or alternatively you can just log on to the TraxxFM Facebook page at TraxxFM Official. That's TraxxFM. Now back to the topic at hand. I would like to project this question to Amlir Ayat, the Vice President of EcoKnights. Now, we have discussed off air with regards to the program. Now, this isn't the first program that you've done, and apparently this will be another program similar to the previous program. Now, based on that, how was the response so far?
As far as response from the youth, we started this program last year, this Knights of Nature, and last year we did 2 programs in Johor, and so far we had seen a very, not only a good response, but also the level of the participation from the youth who attended these programs. For example, last year we did a session on water management. How can we manage our water resources more sustainably, more efficiently? And these students, even though they may have not been out in the field or in the real world, they can come up with very creative and innovative solutions, which was very encouraging to us, which make us want to see more from the youth. They have a lot of ideas. It's just that perhaps they might not have been able to project or convey their ideas through the whatever means that we have. So we need to provide these channels or means for them to share their ideas and point of views. We also had a session with some students from a polytechnic in Johor with regards to sustainable design or sustainable landscape, and they also came up with very interesting and creative ideas about how can we design a better or a greener campus or university or an academic institution. So this is something that we need to continue and let our youth to come up with these ideas and share with us, because you see a lot of these youth, they are seeing the world from a different point of view. Mm-hmm. And we have to realize that a lot of them are also thinking from a different box from us. We have a different box, and they might have a different kind of box of sphere or triangle, whatever, and they might look very interesting, and we can combine all these ideas together with the so-called experts or technocrats with these young people and come up with a better sustainable solutions to the environment.
And that's
and
where
our
you get,
lifestyles.
and that's where you get recognition from the younger generation, and that's where you get
Yes.
incentives and being upfront about things, and you can get how do you say this? You can be well known also based on your contribution towards this sustainable living. Now, with regards to database, how is the statistics so far, and how, since this is more than the second program that you've have, how's the statistics so far with regards to the environment?
Okay, I would like to focus on very practical and daily things. For example, water consumption and also solid waste. These are the kind of daily stuff that we deal with. And if we look at the most recent statistics, for example, let's take water. Now, if you follow the World Health Organization standards, a normal rate of water consumption per person is about, let's say, 200 liter of water per day, or you can call it per person, or you can call it 200 liter per capita, which means per person per day. Now, with that amount we can sufficiently survive. Now, in Malaysia, instead of 200, we are using the average is about 300 liters per day.
Wow.
Now, that's a lot. Now, that means we are using an excess of 100 liters per day.
Which is about 50%.
Yes, that's about 50%. Now, if you multiply that by the number of population in Klang Valley alone, 2 million people times 100 liters, that means 200 million wasted just like that. Now, you imagine during water rationing periods, you can use this 200 million excess, 100 million liters per day excess to support those who may have problems with water rationing. And by right, you shouldn't have water rationing at all. Okay?
Not
Now
in a
let's-
country like Malaysia.
Yeah, we have floods and we have water rationing. Now, that is something which I find very hard to understand. But of course, we put dams in places where the water might not be falling, not falling on the right place. That is one problem. You may have a lot of drain in one place, but the dams are not there. This is one problem. And water is not like electricity. If you don't have power at one place, you can switch the power from one place to another place, just like that. But with water, you cannot simply move the tap from a full dam, move the pipe to another dam, to the other houses. It's going to be very difficult. So these are some of the kind of things that which I consider challenges to our water resources management. And let's talk another thing which is very, very prevalent in the country at the moment, and that is solid waste. Now, in Malaysia, we are throwing, per person, we are throwing about 2 kilograms of rubbish every day. That's just rubbish. Okay, and about 30 or 40% of this rubbish is organic. That means they are food or anything which is biodegradable, and 70% are non-biodegradable. This amount of waste, that means every day in Klang Valley alone, we might be throwing about 2 million times to about 4 million rubbish per day, solid waste, and that's a lot. And that's not taking into account the rubbish which is being thrown in the rivers or in the drains. This is just the rubbish which is taken care by the local authorities. So I believe this is another issue that we have to tackle.
I think that's very interesting data which you have just portrayed on national radio. Yes, it is correct. It is a very interesting thing per se. Reason being that there is an opening for job opportunities in waste management. There's also management in terms of water management. You can be part of the water waste management and solid waste management. So there's a job opportunity for that particular job. All you have to do is just look for it. Now, scoping back to the program at hand with regards to sustainable living, I would like to talk to the program director of EcoKnights, Fadli Bakhtiar, with regards to MHB. What is the itinerary then? Since we have all this kind of data, I'm sure the itinerary must be very engaging as well.
So for this year, it's going to be held next week on the 10th and 11th of December at MHB MHE West Yard in Pasir Gudang, Johor. The theme for this year is actually slightly different from last year. It's indigenous people, Orang Asli, and volunteerism. So the itinerary will be more on sharing with, facilitating and sharing with the participants about the indigenous people in Malaysia in general, and also we are going deeper or more detail on the Orang Asli community that we are working on with now, which is the Orang Asal Seletar in Pasir Gudang. They are the Orang Asli Laut, they call it, or the sea people.
Why with Orang Asli?
Because we actually, this MHB Knights of Nature is part of a bigger CSR program that we are doing with MHB, which is called MHB Cares. So we have worked with MHB for the past 2 years to develop like a plan or like activities, a program to improve the quality of lives of the indigenous people of Seletar, because their village is actually next to MHB. So the idea is to work with an organization to help improve the quality of lives of the community around. So the Seletar people in Pasir Gudang is actually one of the affected community because of the development there, and then MHB is working with us to find ways to help improve the quality of life.
I think what is MHB trying to do here is trying to help the people surrounding their area, and which is very fair, and which is a good effort, because they have a lot of other CSR activities which involve other communities, and the Orang Asal Seletar is one of the communities which is residing near their yard. And Orang Asal Seletar is also one of the very important, one of the 18 Orang Asli tribes in Malaysia, and they have a very colorful and interesting history. In Pasir Putih, in Pasir Gudang, the population size is about 80 people, and when we took a look at their history, they were the sea warriors about 400 or 500 years ago, and they were the ones who were here a long time, even before the Sultanate kingdom, and they were the ones who were protecting the seas and also the land from outsiders. And right now we are trying to help them out to understand their history, and also try to help them improve their livelihood by providing them, like what I said, education. So, and they find out, and we have seen a good improvement as far as the time period is concerned, which is 1 year. A lot of the kids have started to get more interested in learning, even though before this they might not be so motivated to go to school or anything like that, you see. So this is something that I think we are proud of.
So that's why in the itinerary we are going to share about the indigenous people in general, and focusing more on the Seletar, and also having some sessions which the participants are going to develop or to suggest programs that would be suitable for to organize or to run with the Orang Asli for the coming years. And then on the second day of the program, the participants will bring them to the Kampung Orang Asli, and then they will volunteer there. They will help clean up the beach, they will play with the kids, do some activities with the adults. The idea is we need to bridge the gap between the urban and also the Orang Asli, because many of us have not really directly met any Orang Asli. So this is one of the ways for us to get closer as a Malaysian, because we are all Malaysians, and not just that, to try to understand what is needed there. The kids really also need attention. The adults also love people to come. They are very nice, very warm, friendly people. Once you get to know them, you just want to hang out with them. The kids are actually very bright, but maybe because of their standard of living, because of their insecurity, and all these things, they tend to be more shy, introvert. But once you get to know them, Amlir has been there for a year, in and out every month, and it's
a
really
very
amazing.
interesting and very pleasant knowing the Orang Asli over there.
Yeah.
So in a nutshell, this whole program is not only about achieving sustainable living, but also to maintain what is currently within the current area, which is in Johor, and also not only to maintain the environment, but also to get to know the culture and also the
Yes.
people living within there, and
Yep.
be humble
Yes.
with whatever you have.
Yeah,
And solve problems together.
yeah.
That is the most important thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
Education is there to help us solve problems to achieve towards a better lifestyle and livelihood.
Okay, so we'll be right back and to tell you more on how to join the MHB Knights of Nature in just a short bit. For now, we have the Pretenders song called I'll Stand By You, 47 minutes past 11. Good morning, Malaysia, the final hour of the interview feature of the day with regards to sustainable living. And in the studios, I have Fadli Bakhtiar, the Program Director of EcoKnights, and Amlir Ayat, the Vice President of EcoKnights, talking about the topic at hand. In the meantime, if you want to join the program, which is MHB Knights of Nature Sustainability Camp 2014, well, to tell us the details, Fadli, please enlighten us.
Okay. Actually, the selection process has been done.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see.
Just ended last weekend. We have selected youth based on 3 different criteria.
Mm-hmm.
One is those who are studying in Johor.
Mm-hmm.
The second is youth who are residing in Johor, and third is open to the relatives of MHB employees.
So this exclusive program has many layers.
Yes,
To
yeah,
enter, so
yes,
it's
but
exclusive.
yeah, because we want to highlight this or we want to focus more on the Johor youth. Because we've done this in KL, as an example, is volunteerism, participating in programs is
Mhm.
quite big now. You can easily get hundreds of people wanting to participate and volunteer. But in Johor, I think it is something quite new.
Mhm.
And we want to focus more on what you can do in your own state or in your own backyard.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Especially for MHB, right? So MHB
Yeah,
is a
so
company.
yeah.
You started doing collaborations with private companies.
Yes.
So if let's say other companies would like to join or start up their own CSR program, what do they need to do?
Contact us.
Mm.
Yeah, or any organizations, any NGOs. The thing or the importance is that any company who wants to start a CSR program, who have intention to do something good for the communities or to the society, they should talk to NGOs, because NGOs first of all have closer relation with the public, different like different community, different society, and we are also not just able to come up with ideas. We are also able to help deliver your idea into something that would be successful to the to the company.
So in a nutshell, if you are a company and interested in doing CSR programs, you can just talk to your local organization.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's
NGOs,
hundreds. Yeah, there's countless
more.
NGOs in different areas. Environment, social, human rights, animals. If you have some some ideas of what you want to do, you can contact them. Or if thinking about environmental CSR programs, you can definitely talk to EcoKnights. We are more than happy to assist you and to explore the
We'll
potential.
promise you will give you the most financially efficient way of doing things.
That is also very sustainable.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
so how do we contact you then?
As a start, you can log on to our website. It's ecoknights.org.my, or you can just email directly to us at info@ecoknights.org.my. You can call us at 0377318361. Yeah, so that is our phone number.
Okay. Okay, any last messages before we wrap up the show? Amlir Ayat, Vice President of EcoKnights, what is your message to us listeners?
Okay, the theme for this year is indigenous people and volunteerism. I think it's very important for us to put that, like Fadli said just now, to reduce the gap between all Malaysians, especially between the Malaysians and the other part of Malaysians that we often ignore, and that is the indigenous people. There are 18 tribes of indigenous people in Malaysia, and I think we need to learn from each other. There are a lot of aspects from the Seletar people alone that we can learn in order for us to achieve a better and sustainable livelihood. And this is a program that I hope will spread in the future and will be a good example for other Malaysians in achieving our vision of being a sustainable country.
Okay. Fadli?
Yeah, I have a vision of organizing Knights of Nature throughout Malaysia, not just in Johor, not just in KL, which we've done for the past 2 years, but also to have Knights of Nature in every state in Malaysia, because that would provide opportunity for youth in that state to participate and learn about what's happening in their backyard and what they can do, what kind of decisions they should be making in the future. But in order to do that, we have to work with different organizations, corporate partners, to because as an NGO we solely relying on the fund from organizations. And my another last word would be, this wouldn't be possible without the support from from MHB especially, because they believe in us and they believe in making changes in their community. And also to the volunteers from MHB who has been really outstanding and committed going to the
really committed.
Yeah, like really, they go to the this Kampung Seletar, on the weekends. They
weekends.
Sacrifice their weekends and go there for many hours just to
salute them.
just to get close to the kids, to the adults, and teach them things and play with them. And it has really, I think, they have bonded into more than just like next door neighbors, but they have become like first name basis. Like they know all the kids' names.
It's not just between a corporate and their target groups, but they are just like friends now.
Yeah, it's not about it's something not anything about CSR now. It's more like they just go there and just hang out there. It's amazing.
So, all right. So, eventually, it's all about being together as one Malaysia, uniting, and also knowing each other's cultures and heritage. Being one Malaysia, that's the most important thing, no matter what. Anyway, thank you so much once again. Good luck with your program in the near future. And we're talking to Fadli Bakhtiar, the Program Director of EcoKnights, as well as Amlir Ayat, the Vice President of EcoKnights. Thank you once again for coming. It's a pleasure. For now.